So the first one is on how to create a wireframe shader in Karma. I don't think there's one by default. So what you can do is use this useful node called Karma reimport, and you import the ITUV, which is the intrinsic UV coordinates. Then you separate the U and V, or the X and Y, and you invert it, and then you take the minimum of both, of each axis, so the X and Y. So we get this mirror effect. So if I look at the Y component, we get the same effect. Then we take the minimum of both, and finally we do one greater than, and then we can just set one to 0 and the other to 1, and just play with the thickness slider. From here, you can put it all together into an HTA and sell it on Gumroad. So in this one, I want to show you how you can use a light to project textures in Solaris or using Karma. So as you can see, I'm projecting a texture using this light. And of course, you can set the contribution of the light of the diffuse and specular to 0, so it doesn't affect your scene. In this case, I'm just using flat shading, but yeah. So you start with the light, you position it, and then in a wrangle, you can extract the local transform using the primitive path that you place in here. In this case, I'm using light 1. And then you set a prim var. In this case, I'm naming it xform, and I'm saving that matrix, which means that now in my light, I should have a prim var called xform. No, sorry, I'm targeting in here another primitive, which is my mesh, where I want to receive the projection. So if we come in here, we should see somewhere, yeah, here it is, primvars xform. You can name it wherever you want. Then it comes the shading part, which is a bit more complex. Maybe there are easier ways, but it's not that difficult. So we start with the position. So this is just the position attribute in object space. Then we import the matrix in here with a primvar reader. So we import the xform that is in our mesh. Then we transform the position into local space of the light, into the local space of the light by inverting the matrix and doing a transform matrix. So now the position attribute is on the light's local transform, if that makes sense. And from here, we just create a mask, a square mask, by separating both the X and Y and manipulating it and constraining it to a mask. So like this. And then, of course, this is projecting on both sides. So what we can do is take the normal, do the same, extract the z-axis of the matrix, the z component, and do a dot product between that and the normal. So we get this sort of mask. Then we can tighten the mask with an if greater, and finally multiply it with the square mask. And now we have a perfect mask for our texture sampling, which we will do next by combining the X and Y components of the transformed position, and then we just fit it to be on the correct spot. And if we sample and the image, in this case I'm just using the default butterfly, and then we can just mix it with another color in the background. And from there you can just place your light wherever you want, and the projection will follow, and works in XPU and also in CPU, as you can see. Of course, it won't work well in the viewport because we are dealing with matrices and whatnot. Well, at least it doesn't work on my viewport, but you can test it on your own. So this is just an excuse to not buy my texture projection tool, so you can use this workflow. So this is how you can make your light look at any object in the scene, any hero object. So as you can see, I have this light, and I'm constraining it to my hero object, which is the rubber toy, and I can place it on top, on bottom, and move it around really easily. And the way I'm doing that, so I'm just importing the rubber toy, then I'm creating the light and I move it wherever I want. Then with the look at constraint, I set my look at to the rubber toy, and then my source to the light. So I'm just setting the source and the look at primitives, or the target primitives. Then you can set the orientation, you can set the axis to look at, in this case -z, and then the up axis. And the up vector is the y-axis. So I hope that makes sense. And then you just place your light wherever you want, and that's how you can constrain a light to a hero object. So a quick tutorial here to Substance, where I was painting some textures, and I was using the ACES workflow because in Houdini I'm also using ACES and I want to render there. So in my project settings, I started with the OpenColor IO's color management and ACES 2.0. The other are the default ones. Then in order to, I was having some trouble where the color of the textures wouldn't match. So what I did in the end is when I export the textures, I created a custom template and made sure I include, so as you can see in here, I didn't have the color space variable, and you can enable those in here, so you can append, and also if you're using UDIM workflow, you want also to append the UDIM tag. So, but the most important is the color space, because that will make sure we append the suffix called ACCG or RAW or any other sRGB or something like that. And when we export them and re-import them into Houdini, as you can see, we have that tag. And if we go to color preferences, OCIO, as you can see, any pattern that matches ACCG or sRGB, or in this case RAW, will have the correct color space, because this one in here doesn't seem to do anything. So you have to rely on the names on your textures on these tags. So that's how you can match your colors from Substance into Karma. So as always, thank you for watching, guys. These were the tips that I wanted to share today. I hope you have learned something new, and you can grab the files on my Patreon also if you're interested. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.